I'm not convinced Otto knows how to think for himself anymore. But I do have to talk to ChatGPT.
Welcome to the frontier, Commander. I was wondering when you'd finally come and join us.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk with some of the dev team. We have Branks, the community manager, once again. We have Aaron, the CMO, and we have CJ, chief destroyer of all things in the game. What's up, boys? How you doing?
Good,
Hey
thank
there.
you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Happy birthday,
Howdy
everyone.
do. Happy birthday, Starborn. This one
Anniversary.
here. Here we go.
Yeah, it
There we
literally
have.
says anniversary celebrations.
Well, I don't like clicking things.
Or reading.
I fused last night. My hand hurts. I don't want to click buttons no more. Speaking of, okay, so Arcade's back. That's the little mini game within the game. I don't know who's played that yet. I did goof around on it. I didn't save my score because I was bad and I only got level 8.
But if you press leaderboard, can we see it? Then
Yeah, it's pizza.
Yeah,
It's always pizza.
And we can see your score.
Yeah.
360.
Yeah, Terabad.
Yeah. Oh, that's me.
Oh yeah.
Fourth.
So what you're saying? You're not working? Is that what I heard there?
I
Well,
did one
playing the
run.
game is part of our job, so.
CJ, you're sick of this, I assume. You've probably had to play test it so much you don't want to mess with this anymore.
I'm bad at it.
You're bad at it. I'm just warming up. That's all.
I got to level 12 once and then I've not managed it again.
I don't know. I'm too squirrel. I just can't pay attention to it long enough. I'll look up and I'm like, oh, I'm dead.
Every
Yeah,
time
thanks
you
for the
open
look.
up the every time you open up the Commander's Arcade, there's a lore behind it. So when you press into the arcade, if you go back into the home screen, you go into the Commander's Arcade. So this is kind of this is the first time we go into the spaceship, like into the fob, the mothership. So this is part of the commanders, is because you play as a commander. This is a part of you're just chilling a little bit from the action on the frontiers. That's the whole idea. This is the first time we take you into the spaceship.
And it's a 1970s and 80s arcade game with a touchscreen from the 2000s.
Yeah.
A relic of the past.
I love that, by the way.
Getting in here, can you explain this little bit here? Is that something talkable?
This is the name of the so Galaxy Survivor is the name of the mini game happening right now, open right now, and we have under development another mini game coming out soon.
Ooh,
TM.
okay. I assume no date stuck to that yet.
No date yet. No, it's this is one of the assignments that we have more on the backlog rather than in a priority.
Okay, so this is when the coders want some overtime, is what I'm understanding.
Yeah.
Well
Yeah, no
put.
way. Yeah. So yeah, it's coming soon. We have the prototype ready, and it needs just to. It's now. I think it's been moved on the backlog of the art department.
All right, so next up on here, I think many people, like we were talking about, I've already done this Judge Fusion, but the predecessor of the Judge Fusion coming a couple days before. All your other legendaries are back, and you can fuse your epics to get your squad leader roles filled out. Kudos, guys. I know it's taken a couple months, and I'm sure there was some coding pain in the ass in the background. I'm really happy about this because, like, specifically, I think I need an Atlas and maybe like an XAOC epic or something like that. Like, I've got 2 or 3 of the epic ones. I'm like, oh, I need a couple units, and I haven't pulled them recently. So it's like, man, now I can at least go back and backlog and fuse them out. So, you guys know what I'm talking about, but for people watching, it would be something like this, like Atlas. I need a couple more in here. And it's like, oh.
Being able to fuse those is neat, but especially some of the key units in there. One unit that is fused more than any other, I think, if we were to look at the data hard enough, would be Heliodor, which is a very popular unit on the frontier. It can be fused in both the Judge panel and the Nuktu one, requiring the same rares for both, so there's no guessing which one is the best version.
Could you have done us all a favor and put them in the same slot? Because now I'm looking at them like they go back and forth. I'm like, wait, where are they at?
Made you look?
You made me work for something to find. I do appreciate the fact that he's R1 while the rest were R2, because that was something when I was looking into it. I'm like, oh, R2. Because like on my free-to-play account, I was trying to calculate if I could do this. We all know my love of Sokol, so I'd gladly feed her. But then Stalwart, he's only R1, so I'd have to feed one of them, and I currently only have one version of Heliodor, so I'd have to fuse another, and then I'd still have to probably fuse 3 more to actually get a usable version for the account. And like that account, I just don't have the food available. I think I'm short. I think Paracelsus I only have 3 copies for, which is kind of shocking, but it is what it is.
It's not
The
complicated. Get
the
good.
free to play XP starvation and beacon starvation is real. As you can see, I'm doing swell on here now, even after fusing last night. So I finally have hit that level of I have extra green beacons for once.
Yeah. How many green beacons again, CJ? Do you remember to take a level all the way, like take a unit up to 60?
I think it's 600.
600.
Yes, 600 if everything's starting at level 1. So login campaign. I'm pretty happy about this one because y'all know on my account my love of Mr. Maddox. You guys
Yeah,
can check on that
big
up in
Maddox
here.
fan.
Big time Maddox fan. Probably my first R6. I can't remember if it was him or Los, which one first, but have now proven 2 months in a row he can do the job
How
in
are you
hard
on
abyss.
day 2 already? What?
Get them login hacks, bro.
What?
I don't
No,
know.
I got to get good.
Yeah.
How the yeah, okay.
Nice
Oh.
catch.
Thank you.
America, Texas.
I hope you've been talking a lot about how Maddox basically spoiled you because you had him so early in your account progression.
Absolutely.
So it's a really good defender to have.
Yeah, I mean, just for simplicity's sake, one of the things I farmed a lot of would have been Nightmare 5/5. It just kind of hit a point to where everything worked out really well for me. I'm not sure if it'll have the same team. No, I've cleared it out now, but generally speaking, going back kind of the units I would have had, I need to sort by power because they're all still pretty much built. It would have been something like, dude, where's Maddox? I just missed him. Here
Pretty
he's
much
at.
at the front.
Yeah. So I would have stuck him somewhere like over here in the so like I would kill that attacker up there across the top, right? So I would stick Los in here. Main concept would have looked something like this, of just pull everything down here, keep everybody alive, and let the attacker go up here. So even with a couple ships, now obviously Los is going to massacre everything. But the point is, fast enough Maddox. Now everybody's safe there, right? He's going to get big old heals from all the damage, and Los would just murder through stuff. And then, generally speaking, with all the blue affinity here, I'd probably thrown in something like early game. I'd probably throw in like Apex just back here behind Hermes if there wasn't any splash to worry about, and just kept everything slowed and keep their all the debuffs from Apex available. I'm one of those people. I actually did Apex as I think he was like my 6th or 5th 6-star. I just made use of him because he was free and he was there. Even though you guys know like how much I've put into this account, like and how quickly I was level 80 at day 54 or something like that. Like I steamrolled through the game from just like the campaign and the basic content part of stuff. But yeah, he did spoil me to where like when I had to start doing like frag battles and stuff, and was like, oh snap, now I got to learn positioning at the end of the game. This hurts.
Yeah, that taunt ability that he has really does change the puzzles, basically your placement and everything. So he can spoil you to the way where it's hard then to figure out how to not play with taunt, but he's a super valuable unit.
Yep. So day 7, free Maddox, and the thing is like his taunt and everything works without being R2, and that was one of the cool things about it. Like especially when I looked, because I had Panin pretty early, but he didn't get his gimmick from R2. He needed his thing to work with R2, right? I'm trying to think like Yazid. I had obviously pretty early on, just by luck. Now you can get him through normal abyss. Like that's huge, guys. I don't think you guys realize how big that is on new accounts. Being able to get that him and high end from normal abyss. That's a big props to game development and pathways of getting those kind of units. So coming up, Butcher's Masquerade. Y'all guys want to discuss this and tell us a little about what's going to go on here? I assume Stan-like event with.
Can you play the trailer?
I don't know if you just talk about it a little bit. I'll grab us the trailer.
Okay. So, seasonal boss these are definitely the events you want to participate in. The loot table and the seasonal bosses are extreme. They're really good. We what more to say? These battles are all designed differently than what we used to from the game. So they will always have some gimmick. Halloween boss, for example, Count Garlic. He the units changed between day. The battle scene changed between day and night, and they had different abilities during day and night. The minions. The Butcher's Masquerade introduced Axe. The Butcher has become the Clutcher during the Butcher's Masquerade, and he has Easter eggs that will blow up in your face if you don't get rid of them in timely manner.
Right.
So, and it's supposed to be like whimsical and fun. Like this is a fun event.
All right. So here I'm going to throw this in full screen. We'll give this a quick look through. I love this. Looks like Fruit Loops and licorice and stuff floating.
Yep.
Totally on point, right?
Zoom a little zoom in a rocket ship. Off we go on a trip. Heading for the moon at a rocket clip. We're gonna zoom, zoom, rocket. Zoom into the moon at terrific speed. We're gonna zoom, zoom, rocket. Because there is no friction.
I love how 8-bitty it was too.
I love the bunny ears on the ship model. That's so great.
So that's definitely going to be a mid-month pack to get bunny ear butcher. Hopefully, if anybody wants that skin.
I'm not sure actually. I haven't looked at the
I'm on CMO.
sign of it.
What's
Yes.
definitely coming back is just the fact that that boss can yield some pretty awesome rewards, like we had with our Christmas boss or Halloween boss. With a little bit of luck, you can earn incredible things there.
Yeah, so it's for some this would be a season of happiness and joyfulness and getting Lego refits and Lego beacons and everything. Like legendary refits and legendary beacons. Legendary mainframes even. Then for some, like myself, this is a season of disappointment. Where each fight gives me nothing. But like I say, for others, they will reap the benefits of fighting the fighting Butcher. But it is a lot of fun, and then we have the leaderboards as well. Again, we're gonna show you who are the most unlucky players in the game. So it literally just the leaderboard will be top unlucky players within the frontiers.
You should
You'll be right there.
make sure
I'm
on the
only-
day that releases, if you have the info, throw out the naughty nice list winners from the Stan event just to rub that back into people's faces.
Yeah, probably not because I was like top 5 there as well, and I will probably be top 5 in the Butcher as well. I am unbelievably unlucky when it comes to these seasonal
I
boss
think
events.
as a community, we can say that's what you deserve for all the legendary refits you get from Nightmare Vaults.
From the vault. Yeah, true.
I agree.
Yeah, it's all about balance. Yeah, that's true. Checks and balances. It's just I'm the most unlucky one in the. No, I'm not the most. I'm like I would think I was 4th during the last seasonal boss.
I think for this as well, we're doing a fun leaderboard as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
you will have the leaderboard as well for. So we have the lucky leaderboard, unlucky leaderboard, and then we have the Humpty Dumpty leaderboard of how many eggs you killed. So killing the eggs is not essential to win the fight, but killing the eggs will sure get you into the leaderboard. So it was similar with the Standard Slayer, the Christmas event. Then you had the reindeers, and me and, for example, me and CJ, we were doing runs that lasted like 80, 90 rounds, just because we were competitive and we want to be killing reindeers and be on top of that leaderboard.
I got you. Yeah, so I started Christmas Day, so the stand event was like I was happy when I was able to do level two, because that thing was got exponentially harder. Like I went into level 3 and like my whole team gets one shot except for like the tank, and I'm like, okay, I don't belong here. So now there's another event, and I'm like, cool. I now have an account I can compete and I can actually play at this level. I was like, let's go. I want to do something.
Yeah, but we are big fans of our seasonal events. These are just we break up the gameplay, we have fun, and we do experiment with new things in the seasonal bosses. That's like probably the highlight of them. And and we do like to have fun, so we are quite just frank and open about the elite boss. Like it's just I can think the description with the unlucky one is just don't buy Euro jackpot today or something. Like don't buy a lottery ticket. It was just
So the leaderboards, even if it's just something small, and mostly just for fun, it's important for the community. Just small things to look back at and remember and compare
Mhm.
yourself to others with. Great value on them.
yeah.
All right, so following up from the Butcher's Masquerade, you've got the dueling thing, Branks. That's kind of your baby right now, isn't it?
It is in that regard that I am the one herding all the cats. Or organizing it, making it sure everybody knows what they're supposed to do, reminding people, and just yeah, keeping track of everything. That's a very busy week, I can tell you. But it's just been super fun seeing everybody that participated in our previous tournament, and I hope to see a bunch of familiar faces and new faces
Yeah,
in this tournament.
you've hinted that this particular one is going to be not just catering to like the high end accounts. So what's your gimmick for it? Like this gimmick arena season with the bombs. Like what are we doing different?
So we're doing different this time around. So in the previous tournament, we had team stages where everybody got to fight a couple of matches, and then whoever scored the highest was matched in a knockout tournament against others that scored the highest, like 2 or 3 positions within their groups, so to speak. This time we will have another knockout bracket for the people that scored low in their groups, so that they can play more matches and have more fun. So basically, we'll be crowning the winner of the best scoring accounts, and then we'll also be crowning the winner of the accounts that didn't score so well against the high-end accounts. So more people get to participate for longer and have more fun and interesting matchups. But I will say what I discovered last tournament was that even people that it gets very easy to underestimate people and think like, oh, you haven't been around for so long, you don't have all the legendary units and so on. It's the puzzle part of the game, the mind games, throwing curveballs at your opponents. We had people that performed exceptionally well that you wouldn't expect them to do that. So really looking forward to that again with this next tournament. It's going to be very exciting.
I think with the overlapping end of the month like last one, you'll catch people out who make mistakes like me. I had multiple battles where I sent people out and I sent Chip out missing a piece of gear because I stole it because of faction ops, or I stole it, end of the month. Everybody would be trying to wrap up their hard abyss. It was like, oh, like like my first round against Tech, I think I sent like a half naked team out there, and he was like, "Man, dude, I obliterated you." And I was like, hold on." I went and looked at the ships, and I was like, "Oh, missing gear. Oh, missing gear. Oh, missing gear." I was like, "Hey, can I get a redo?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, that's fair." So there's some good sportsmanship that went around with everything too, and I assume I'm not the only one that made those mistakes.
That's good to hear. Yeah, it's about sportsmanship and having fun. I think more so than winning, just having a good time and having PvP outside of arena. It's like the duel scene is a bit different than arena.
Yeah, it's also very unforgiving, uh, in a way. But it's fun. It's just it connects players on a different level. All this like it builds up a different kind of hype because like now we're watching you playing PvP. You just go in, and of course like you can see how you're faring this season against Tuan. Uh, but it's different when you're doing the dueling because like you're just setting up one fight, and you're setting up against the player, and there's some like different emotions behind it. I feel like, and so I'm excited to see how this tournament will play out with these sort of 2 tournaments. Like you have the group qualifiers, the play-ins, so sort of speak, uh, heading into the Frontiers Legend bracket and the Frontiers Epic bracket. So the goal is that everyone will get a challenge fitting to their where they are at in the game.
So does that
And-
mean CJ's gonna throw round 1 so he can go dominate the bottom of the barrel back bracket?
100% CJ, of course. There's no sportsmanship in CJ, and he will do whatever it takes to get a trophy, even if it is to wreck those who are not as advanced as him.
I feel like Tawan built his guild
See,
just to counter
the
me.
thing is, I need to redeem myself from getting psyched out by Solemn. I've got to take the W on the big
That
battle.
was so much fun that you played it on during Conclave. Ah, the moment when I thought you had him. Oh, it was one of the best
Yeah,
fights I've ever
watching that
seen
live
in the Frontiers.
was great.
I think it's
And
funny
live
that here we
games.
are 2 months later and you're still like, oh, I got psyched out. I wished I'd have done this. So it's stuck in your head. 2 months later, you're like, oh, how can I do better? That's great.
So like, the worst part was though, for the arena battles, I had a list of positioning to use against certain people, and I even ignored the list that I had wrote down.
No
I just
way.
went for something else just because of the pressure, and then I was like, then I seen the battle loading, and I was like, no, I've lost.
And I mean that there are daily reminders of this. Like we have prizes for all the winners. We have participation prizes, second place, third place, and everything. But for the winner of what will this time be the legendary bracket, they get a special title button on our Discord with a little icon that just tells everybody that they are the current, I guess, like holder of the championship belt.
Oh, wow.
For the tournament,
There you
and
go.
so you can see a daily reminder every day that Solemn is the winner of the last tournament. So let's see.
Now,
who
does
will
he
get
get to
that title this
continue
time around.
wearing that as he goes
No.
forward?
If he
Oh,
defends it,
stripping his
sure.
title, perfect. Now, does the next winner also get like a fancy Facebook post? By the way, if you're not yet, follow the Facebook page. I don't know if you guys don't really promote that very much, or it's just a background thing you do. But like I've been seeing little posts. Like what was it? I actually dropped a video as a comment on one of the posts this yesterday or the day before. And no one even from like the account replied to it. I need to go back and find like, oh, they probably just deleted my comment.
Thought it was a spam.
Probably.
Automatic spam defense. Shut you off. Are you talking about the Solid Clouds Facebook or the Starborn?
The
Frontiers
Starborn one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Um,
did post an article about the tournament and Solemn winning it, right?
Yeah, I
yeah, we
read
did
I read that.
an interview. We interviewed Solomon and everything.
Yeah, no, that was fun. So what kind of giveaways, or is this the super secret portion of this that everybody's gonna forget how to speak?
So in a certain way, we'll do what we've done in the past, where every week, starting on Thursday, there's a giveaway for the current biggest pack that's in the shop. We just had Lucky Strike Pack. There'll be Easter deals or anniversary deals this time that we're giving away. But the first giveaway of this month will be for an account, fresh account,
Oh, yeah.
that had 1,000 beacons, specialist beacons, opened. And I think we landed on 40 legendary units, a bunch of awesome epics, and like every rare unit you could dream of at Refit 6, basically. So we'll be giving away a fresh Giga boosted account, basically, for people that want to start an alt account or new and they want to start fresh, or give away a cool account to a friend or something. So yeah, that's going to be our special giveaway. But then every weekend, as always, more giveaways, and not just people that enter a giveaway and win things. We just give things to everybody every week as well during this
Every
month.
Wednesday this month, we're giving away a present in your inbox message, just like you received today. So the day on this recording, it's 2nd of April. You received 2.5 million credits. As part of thank you for celebrating our birthday with us. And with the
that will
tournament as
continue
well, they're gonna and with the tournament, when that happens, there's gonna be a raffle. One random participant will win some special prize as well. So there's gonna be bunch of rewards being handed out during the tournaments on both stages, both in the Frontier, Epic, and Legend. It's a birthday. We just in the mood of giving
Here you go.
celebrations. The Mad Dogs, the Also, we introduced the new thing that is like once your account becomes 1 year old, you automatically get a new avatar,
Willie
veteran avatar.
Scamish.
Yeah.
Scamish, yeah, I like it.
The best shopkeeper in the abyss.
The
Interstellar
good deal
junk vendor.
TM.
Yeah, the interstellar junk vendor. Oh, I've got a few names for that guy.
How many of them can you say on stream?
For not many. Usually they start with that mother. You cheap son of a. Yeah, they go.
But he's a very iconic character for Starborn. I see he's filled a bunch of different roles in the life cycle of Frontiers. He was at some point your tutorial guide, then he was your main mission guide. But even before that, he had many jobs in our previous title, Sovereign Space, where he's very well known. So he's kind of a mascot of sorts, even for Starborn. So giving him as a 1 year special avatar just felt like the right choice.
Yeah, there was this Willy guide, of course, when I joined the game.
Yeah, we call it the
Sova
Willy Guide.
Sova
Which
didn't teach you
the
anything.
name is, I don't know if that name, if we really thought that through completely, but yeah, he's been around for a while.
Yeah, before we invented Sova.
Yeah, it became the Sova Guide. Now it's the main mission, I think. It was a Commander's Path as well. Been through a couple of iterations.
So while we're all here and we have playtester extraordinaire with us, DJ, put you on the spot.
Hello.
You want to talk about your new love here? Shakira. I need to clip that, but I'll get YouTube smacked for copyright if I actually go find that from the songs.
Yeah, so she's basically another easily built Terran attacker. Plays around with a bit of defense, but then we introduced this mechanic of using speed. So you basically want to keep her slow, so that then on the active you get this additional charge, which then means the charge comes off every second turn. And on a charge, she's quite a bit better. So she's got the larger AoE pattern, bypass enemy defense, as well as a purge buff from the enemy. Yeah, and then her passive as well. She's got like a attack that she does at the start of every turn, which goes on to the fastest enemy unit. So in some situations like Arena, where you may have a enemy unit that's the fastest, could be like a Sentinel, a Griff, or an attacker, this can do some damage to them, which makes it a bit easier to kill them Mei Yings if they're fast.
Interesting. See, I think of it as like a Sentinel Griff Slayer, especially because of her affinity. Now, something you were just mentioned too, is this a new pattern that's going to happen with you guys of different patterns? Because I'm thinking about the other ships right now, and I'm like, I don't recall a different pattern based on skills. Is that the only one that's got that to start with?
There
We
is a
have
few.
that do some changes there, and we'll do more of that. We want to accentuate the charged attack or skill, rather, a bit more. So we're playing around with a few different things there.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's cool. Like I said, it could just be units I don't use. But like, you know, in reference to her being close to Nuke too, as far as she builds, like this is a good way of like, oh, now her charge is actually going to nuke you because she's going to be able to just do this plinking away. But then on charge, it's like, oh, how? I say it's just something I keyed in. Like even though I've already looked at this unit because CJ and I were talking about this last night about this unit, I didn't clue in on that until I'm sitting here clicking around and we're discussing it now, and I'm like, wait a minute, those are different. So I did. So this is something that's kind of from a game development design of making charge skills feel a little bit more important than just, oh, it does more damage. Maybe it has a different buff or debuff added to it. I like that. That's a cute one.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, and CJ help me out if I'm falling short here, I think Tithonus and Lodolite are examples of different attack patterns or targeting patterns even on their charged skill compared to their active skill.
Okay,
I know Lodolite, definitely.
I guess I see. I don't
He-
use Tithonus
He
that
does
often.
the front circle thing and then the skip on the charged.
Yeah, And my use of Lodolite is pretty strictly limited to she's fast and she hits something in the back to make stuff target that. I've never really keyed in. Oh, okay. It's the same pattern, but it just splashes differently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Learning something new every day. Cool.
Yeah, and you'll see more of that in the future, and that can take different forms. It's not a guarantee that we'll do it with every unit. It has to make sense in a way, right? But really making you feel like the charged skill is a very impactful moment in that unit's story within that combat, basically. That is very important to us. It has to feel like a highlight moment that you really want to achieve.
Yeah, for
We'll
sure.
do that by doing bigger patterns, more damage, more stuff that happens, whatever we can think of. We have many tools at our disposal.
Bro, all your crazy ideas and feedback, you never know what's going to make it in the game.
Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with that. Like, we have drawn inspiration from the community in the past. Like, we don't assume we are the only ones that can have good ideas. Sometimes they come from outside, or I don't know if I'd call the community outside, but outside the design team. And we do read the feedback channel every day. So if you have a great idea and think you'd like to see it in game, share it with us. Who knows? Maybe it'll make it to the frontier. If we want to segue a little bit into what we're working on, I guess what I can say from my side of things that we're working on currently, and which we have talked a little bit about publicly as well, is that we are working on localization. For those that don't know what that means, basically translating our game into different languages. Yeah, the team decided to start with one of the most difficult ones to begin with, which is German.
Guten
The
Tag.
words tend to be a bit longer. Yeah, Guten Tag. Which naturally then meant that I get to help because I was born in Germany and I speak the language still. So that's the first one we'll do, which will come soon. TM to your client, I guess. And once we can do that and feel comfortable with that, that just opens the door to more different languages.
I thought it was so interesting to hear when we were deciding on which language to localize. We, as Frank said, we decided to start on like one of the hardest one to localize on. But on average, German is what 20% longer than English words. I think it's so interesting.
Well, it'll at least
That
help you
still
get all
sounds
your
like lowballing to me. 20%. It's
Right.
like double almost.
It'll help you get all your spacing sorted properly for where text boxes need to be. Because, like, okay, insert wall of text here, it's in German. Then everybody else will be like, oh, it fits perfectly.
Yeah, there's overlapping and overflowing and text breaking in more places than you'd expect. That's a really good way to kind of future proof.
Yeah, it was so interesting. Well, someone told me 20%. I have no idea if that's correct or not. But that's what I heard, and we've seen that with the localization. We've seen like words so long, and I'm not trashing Germans. I'm just it's so interesting to see how long the words are.
Yeah, on a daily basis, somebody asks me, like, "Hey, can you find a shorter version of this word? This is just too long." I'm like, "No, that's the shortest version in German. Have fun."
Yeah, I have 5 longer ones.
It's a challenge sometimes. But funny enough, it also helps me get better at using my own language again. I have to think about it in ways that I normally wouldn't do. So it's an interesting task to be a part of.
See, that
But
sounds like me every day doing my work and thinking about
That's-
English.
You're in a league of your own, CJ.
yeah, I tend to ask CJ about like, "Hey, can you help me with English?" He's like, "Nope, I don't speak English." But localization is the only thing we are working on. I don't know, can you maybe shine some lights on some other things that are on the horizon?
Yes, we are of course always expanding the game into and looking at the end game content now. We released the Imperium expansion in November, adding faction ops and more things for end game players, and now we are looking into another very deep and cool feature that I can't go in depth into because it's still in development. So everything I would say now might change tomorrow.
Oh, you can tease it out there. Come on.
But it's definitely gonna be a tricky one, a game mode that will keep you entertained and busy for a long time. A lot of new battles, a lot of new challenges. So that's gonna be. I'm very excited for that one. It's gonna be different.
Are these
As well, this year we anticipate that we will as well have a new take on co-op in the game.
That's what I was about to ask. Is there something to bring people together playing some different modes?
Yeah,
Whether
so
it
on
be
the horizon
guild
for
or
this
team
year.
play or something.
Yeah, so without going into more details, because obviously that's as well being worked on and in development. We have a clear goal of what we want to, where we want to go with the game, and the whole co-op being together in the space is getting a lot of cool new work being put into it. So the goal will be that we will be challenging players to work together on goals and challenging each other
So what
as a
I'm
group.
hearing is stay up super late my time, get on Rux's time, buddy up to him, and bother him for more information.
Yeah, he's the game director. Uh, go go at him. try to try to go find out where he lives and send him some drinks and through Uber Drive or something. What do you call it? Uber something?
Have a
Uber
little
Eats.
Uber Eats delivery of a hey, here's a six
Yeah.
pack. I have a six pack. Let's talk some things out, buddy. Come on,
Exactly.
buddy.
Dog, dox him if you want. Joke.
No. He's in mainland
uh,
China. We know that.
yeah. So no Uber Eats. Uh, but yeah, it's we this year will be still a lot of new features, more development. We are far from uh, being uh, being ready to move into only maintenance because we are still just there. We have so many good ideas that we're working on, and I think at the end of 25, our game will be freaking awesome. There's going to be so many options to do, so we will cater also to different playstyles and what different just things that people want to do. And so yeah, that's the gist of what I can say of what's upcoming. Uh, can't really go into any more details. I know that was very broad stroke and can be interpreted in any direction, but
How to
that's
use a bunch of words to say basically nothing.
yeah.
Right. Legal,
Welcome to
legal speak,
marketing.
legal speak, legal speak, legal speak,
Yeah,
legal speak. This
exactly.
is when I insert like the microtext wall of text stuff from like some legal document at the end of a commercial, and I'm gonna play it at like 400%.
Someone on Discord asked the other day, I can't remember who it was, asked some question. I just remember instead of using all these words I was using right now, I just wrote wall of text. uh, and dot dot dot, and then just like you have to be a veteran.
Fair enough.
I was just in bed already, just looking at Discord. I can't be bothered going through all the gibberish.
That's fair.
It's
I
a
mean,
very honest way.
suffice to say that we have big, ambitious plans, things that we want to do. But we know that sometimes we get reality checked, so that's why we are super agile and try to keep it close to the chest.
Oh, and
As
that's
soon as we have details, we share more. We always want to share what we can share.
Hmm.
that's fair, and that's one of the things. Maybe going into something like that, maybe we can do this if it's necessary once a month or quarterly or something like that. Like, hey, here's a quarterly update from whether it's you guys or Rux or even maybe even some of the art team. Like, hey, check out this new cool ship I'm designing, and we'll talk about what it's going to have behind it from a design standpoint, visually, to try and entice people in. I think it's teasers like that, at least for me, always kind of keep me hooked of like, oh, cool, I know there's something coming versus, we everybody gets into games, and for one
Yeah.
reason or another, you find ways to leave them. But when there's something new, everybody always has the opportunity to be like, I'm gonna wait for that. Like currently, I'm a big fan of Enshrouded, but I'm waiting for it to come. Path of Exile 2 is out. Well, I'm waiting for full release on it because I want to just see all the acts. I'm not in it for the gear grind and everything. I just want to see the acts and the story. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's always nice to
So you-
know there's more coming. Give me more. Give me more.
So you're not a side mission kind of player.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I am more of the side mission kind of things
Oh yeah,
because
yeah.
I want to go and explore those other things. But so, like, currently, Path of Exile 2, nothing against it, but once you've played through Acts 1, 2, and 3 4 or 5 times, what's my motivation to continue playing that game?
Yeah,
Now,
okay,
it's
okay,
not
okay.
a full release game yet. And so it's like, okay, cool, it's on hold. Like, I played Enshrouded last year with a buddy of mine, and it's like, okay, cool, it's a beta. We've played, 20 to 40 hours a piece. Okay, what's the next thing to do in it? Oh, wait for the big update where it expands the map further and gives you more missions or raises the level cap or something like that. Speaking of, is that a thing that's possibly coming? 80 was a weird number for. I know this is kind of off the wall. 80 was a weird number for level cap. Is there an opportunity that you're going to go higher with that for player ranks?
So most suggestions have been to lower it down to 69.
Well, well, I would say
No.
the natural thing is to drop it to 60 because at least it matches your ship level. But I don't know. Like, I think the fact that there's continuing achievements in the game, maybe just even continuing player level escalation infinitely would be cool. I don't know, those are other things just on my own side of things that I'm like, oh, that there's no reason to stop it at 80 other than you just don't want to code more than 80.
Yeah, the keyboard was broken, so they didn't make it up to 90.
Yeah.
Uh, no, I don't know. This was a decision made before my time in just on production side. So, CJ, do you have anything to add on that?
No.
No.
Uh,
There you have it. There's a no from game
Man
design.
of direct information here. No.
I mean,
he
I mean,
speaks. He's trying to speak simplified English.
I'm not too sure if it's actually anything that's I've seen discussed anyway since I've started. But I guess I can raise it, see what we can take with it, see where we can go.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things too. Like, everybody knows about being able to get R2 Oleander. Something past that in the achievements gives you a reason to farm achievements, which I've been doing just for comparison stuff. For some of the other guys that play, just, hey, check out my achievement score, bro. They're like, "What? You have that much?" I'm like, "Yeah, because I've just been. I mean, so here we are. Like, I broke 60,000 last week.
Oh
I
wow!
wish we could see the achievement score on the profile of players.
That would be
Like, it
cool
shows how
too.
many ships you've collected and where you're on the campaign. Just show the achievement score there as well. That's
I don't even
something
know if
that
I want
people
to
like
see
to
mine.
compare.
Yeah,
You've
that
actually nearly just caught me up.
I've caught you.
Nearly, I'm at 62,600.
Oh well, let me go farm some more. What
I'm
else
not
can I
even
do?
gonna. I'm not gonna admit to where I'm at.
Oh, throw it out there. Come on.
45k.
Yeah, that's what I figured. You got Oleander 2 and you quit.
I got only the two when I stopped looking at the achievements. And now they just randomly pop up every now and then. But I do play mainly arena these days. I just find it so much fun. The PvP element. I'm hooked on the PvP. I do bounties mainly to prepare for PvP. But that's just me past seasons. Go high enough in the abyss to grind. But for me, it's the abyss, and there are not many achievements you unlock through the abyss,
Mm,
right?
Oh,
Well,
there's
Remember?
some.
there's upwards of the 1,000 mark on here. So, like, even from where I'm at, there's plenty more to go.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you really want to hunt achievement points, you look all over the game. I mean, you're rewarded for farming XP in campaign, for example. Just do more campaign
Mhm.
stuff and just bounty anomalies. Like, you gotta go look everywhere.
This is the one
Not
that's on my
necessarily that
mind.
you have to go out of your way, but yeah, you're gonna naturally recruit ships. You're gonna get there. If you do or events that basically tell you like, oh, now it's time to farm a specific anomaly, and you go do that, you will progress in that achievement track as well. So you can easily get to higher numbers over time.
What's your most favorite game mode, Holt?
Um, well, considering I mostly just farm while I work, honestly, it's probably just credit farming. So,
I
like,
hear you.
so I've been able to get this the Fenry 16 down to a sub 20-second run. That means burner gears on farm. But even then, just going through the rest of them, it's now like you saw me clicking around through the achievements. What I had recently taken note of in the achievements on the bounties specifically was, oh man, I've farmed the heck out of Fenry. And then I looked here, I'm like, I'm so close to 5,000, so this has been my next farm. And then I'm way off in the loon. But then Mama, I was sitting around like, I don't know, 4,500. So it's like, oh, let's knock out a few hundred on her and get this to 5K. Then obviously the next is, okay, let's go for all the 10Ks, which then will equal into probably hitting your overall bounty thing. The Eloon's obviously the next one after this because 5Ks are my goal. But yeah, just been achievement chasing. I feel like a WoW player waiting for the next patch kind of thing. Like, oh, what do you do in your free time? I don't know, I just farm stuff. But that's one of the things too. Like when I talk to some of the higher end players about how many runs they've done, I've had a straight comparison from Solemn specifically, and I'm definitely behind about 5K on everything other than Fenry. So that just tells me like where my gear is at. That okay, cool. Like my options for gear, as long as I'm keeping my best stuff, it just turns into a situation like, hey, do it more and the gear will come. You just got to do the reps. But you see, I'm clicking through here, 7-second runs, and this is after the change of you guys' count timer of how stuff works.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. Is like some of it's just been the puzzle farming too, because like I think on this one, yeah, I'm using Griff on this one. When I pulled Griff a couple weeks ago, like that instantly knocked 4 or 5 seconds off of all these runs. Other than Fenry, which if you're curious, I can show you the Fenry run. Like, oh, this is what we're talking about, like the load light just blinking into the back kind of thing. And now that it's like, okay, cool, I can start a half-hour thing, and for 68 runs that I get, like I think I detune it to, I'm trying to figure it out around 55 runs is 15 minutes. So I just back out of it and start it over. And then, just like I'll set a timer on my phone. I just turn around and reset everything. So it's kind of weird. Like Fenry went to like for my fastest farm to the slowest. And I've tried adding buffers into this. It doesn't matter. I can't make this faster.
No. My fastest with Fenry is 14 seconds. But that meant that I had fine-tuned the units so hard that so specifically that they were useless in every other place. So I kind of like agreed on just having 20-second clearance on Fenry and have usable units everywhere else.
I forgot to switch a piece.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like with the bounties, I kind of want to just have use the units like I equip them for the arena, and even in the abyss, I make it work with that setup, with cloaking on and everything.
Yeah, I got my first legendary refit yesterday after the arena season closed, and we got our rewards, or I guess the day before yesterday. So getting that in there.
Nice. Congrats.
Yeah, and then there's the pack that was just, I honestly think I want to put them on Asphodel, but then I'm looking to see how hard I pull on Shakara to see if I want to actually mess with that or
But
not.
how come there are no special offers available in your stores?
You guys don't offer enough stuff. Straight up.
There should be filler offers. Well, I know.
This is always empty.
What?
There were offers there earlier today, weren't there?
You just don't offer enough stuff.
Okay. I see your point.
I mean, we're talking. I've been playing like 100 days here. You don't offer enough stuff. That's why there's no offers there, because I've already got them.
Noted.
Yeah, for me at least, because so the problem as a kind of a rush player like I've been, and I know you guys want to say the units are usable without being R2, and most of them, a lot of them are. Like I haven't even considered putting gear on him, just because. Come on, you want to buff him, right? And if self buff, it's because I can't always guarantee that I'm going to use him. That and where else do I need another thermal attacker? Like my teams are kind of set, so as I'm still in farm mode for stuff because I'm not in arena mode. The that I just cool units, like I really wanted him, so I got him, and now I'm just like, do I want to R2 him? I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Like if I had him 4 arena seasons ago during the thermal season, you bet your ass this would have been an instant R2. Now it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm slowly leaning into PvP. I'm not quite the spreadsheet kind of person. I just like to hit play and walk away kind of thing. I'm not going to study my battles. That said, I missed platinum last month and keep in mind this is I started Christmas Day, so it would have been 3 full months of playing and I would make platinum. So I get it. It's fine. Even gold 5 is a bit of an achievement for me. It's an improvement. I'd only done gold 4 prior to, but to end up right there and then have, because I 2 hours before the end of the arena season, I was at 40-70 and I lost 80 points in 2 hours.
Yeah, there's a lot of action happening always just before the season ends. Which I love.
Yeah. Well, it was one of them things. So I recorded with you guys and then I worked all day Monday. Just stuff like that. So by the end of the day, I'd spent a good 10 hours up here in the studio. I was like, you know what? I grabbed 2 beers and went and just grabbed a book and soaked in the tub. It was just relaxing in the tub. Spent 4 hours in the tub, and I was like, oh shit, arena season ended. Cat had sent me a message, and he was like, how'd you end? Because obviously he ended right there, and I was like, oh, let me check. I saw that, was like, I don't even want to talk to you right now. So, it is what it is, because like I said, I thought I'd be able to lock in platinum 1, maybe even sneak into platinum 2, because I was able to creep up to like 42-50, but the reality is, for my account, like minus, especially for last season, not being able to R6 Mei Ying, not having legendary squad leader, some of that's just the difference makers. And I was Ravager's not there because that's just what I ended with. I primarily used Ravager because going with like Branks' mentality of I don't want to chop and change gear all the time. Like I basically just made him a stealth unit and built him just for PvP. All right, so have y'all got anything else any little sprinkles of nuggets and news, or are we about to wrap this up?
I have no more spoilers or leaks at the moment.
Nope, same here.
CJ, tell us your favorite unit.
Oh, pressure. Judge. No, Liberator.
Oh, you were stuck. You locked in, Judge.
Nope. Change my mind.
Liberator. There you go, guys. Game's lead tester nerd likes Liberator. All right, boys, thanks for watching. Anybody hanging out here, and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out and giving us some info.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Nice.